Welcome to Sheila's yoga class and anyone else who might be joining in. So find yourself in a comfortable standing position. We're going to start with the 5 M's, and you may have seen the video explaining that. If you're not familiar with the 5 M's, it's basically getting down to the floor and back up 5 times. 5 stands for 5 measured moves. The measured part is that you're pausing each way at each move on your way down and on your way up. Just being aware of stretching every single large muscle in your body, lubricating every joint. There's no particularly right way or wrong way to do this. Just feel safe. Take as many moves as you need, but ideally not less than 5. Pausing, turning in all directions. Let your eyes travel as well. Looking down as you change your position, as you come up, maybe fixing on the wall, looking up as you reach up. 5 measured moves is a perfect way to start your day if you need to get everything moving, or if it's a day when you are not going to be able to do much of anything else as far as exercise goes. Sometime during the day, get up and down. We don't want to lose the ability to get up from the floor. Not to mention, it's just an excellent way to get all the energy moving in your body. Turning, pausing, doing this in any way that gets you to change your orientation, your direction, pulling all parts of the body into this. Remember to breathe, maybe pausing to be aware of the breath at each move. And just enjoy moving in your body. It gives you a chance too to notice if there are any stiff places, tight places that you need to be aware of in your yoga practice. Breathe, move, be intentional with every movement. No hurry. Taking your time. Knowing this is an entry into your yoga practice. And then let's bring it to a close wherever you are, getting ready to start. So come into a seated position on your mat to begin with a little bit of stretching. Finding that breath as you settle in. Breathe, feel, and relax. Interlacing fingers. Make the wave motion with the arms. Just gently stretching and then pulling all the way to your right and to your left. You're pulling the elbow back. So being mindful of not overextending. Stretch forward, arms come up. So as you're in this stretch, fingers are still interlaced. Feel the side of your body open up as you stretch. Full reach, full breath. And then as you release, just sweep one arm up and over the head and back down. Again, opening the body, making room in the core for the breath. The ribs will spread. Large muscles open up. Just find that sweeping motion. Breathe and release. Soles of the feet together, coming into bound angle, Baddha Konasana. Hands on the shins or the ankles, just gently pulling yourself forward. Spine is straight, shoulders relaxed. Don't let them hunch up by the ears. Gentle movement. Hands underneath, palms on the floor. You're in rabbit pose. Let the knees just relax to either side. Keep the soles of the feet gently pressed together. And then as you come up, hands behind and let both legs go to one side and then the other. You're going to hold. Find that spinal twist, looking away from the direction of the legs. Swallow, soften through the throat. Feel your shoulder blades relaxed on the back of your body. Coming into table, and if you need the blanket on the mat to give the knees a little extra cushion, take time to set that up. Coming into a movement that is pushing back into child, then lifting up through the back into table. Head gently lifts just a bit. Back into child, full stretch in the arms, lifting up through the back into table. Inhale, exhale your way back to child, lifting up into the table. And then a side-to-side movement. So hips and shoulders go to one side and then the other, getting the spine a slightly different flexion movement. Moving toward the front of your mat, extending your right leg out. On the toes, you're just going to gently roll back. So the arms push your torso back, stretching the bottom of the foot. This can be a wonderful release for the feet. It can feel wonderful. It'll be a little gentler if you have plantar fasciitis, but you're pushing back, pulling forward, just letting the toes rest on the mat. And you can hold that for a bit if you like before switching to the other side. But just start with the toes and then gently push your body back. Getting release through the feet that we don't normally get because they're in shoes, on sandals. Find that foot flexibility, pushing back, pulling forward with the breath. So getting ready to lift into downward dog. Maybe you pull back into child with a full stretch of the arms, curl toes under, lift into your dog. Movement in the dog, so pumping heels. One leg lifts, just get a stretch. And then the other one, three-leg dog, lifting, just to fully stretch, pushing palms right into your mat. Bend the knees, come up on toes. Any movement in down dog that feels right, just to find the pose. Maybe extend the leg. And then we come into pigeon. So you can come into that from down dog or from table. Walking into your king pigeon. We're going to keep it moving. Lifting back into king pigeon. Pushing back into downward dog. Lifting your left, bringing it forward for pigeon. Coming into your resting pigeon. If your knees won't do this, you're going to want to either just hold in child till we pass this part of the practice, or come onto your back. But we're back in downward dog. Again, lifting right leg, coming into pigeon. Coming into your resting pigeon. And then lifting up into king pigeon. Arms are strong. Stretch that left leg out. And then if you like, you can bring that leg up and reach back for a half bow. And if that's not where you are in this practice, leave the leg straight. Notice if your jaw needs to soften, if your cheeks need to relax. Release the foot, push back into downward dog. Stretch. Lifting left, preparing to come into pigeon again for the half bow. So land in your pigeon. Breathe your way down into resting pigeon to open the back of the body. When you're ready, coming back into king pigeon to hold here, or lift the leg up into half bow. Remembering yoga isn't a contest. It's about what your body wants to do and where your mind is at this particular time on the mat. Rolling into a sitting position, we're going to come into a little bit of stretching and then a V-sit. So opening legs, if you have a block, putting that right in front of you. Toes flexed towards your body, back of the legs, pressing right into the mat, into the floor. Reaching for your block, pushing it forward. Keep the spine straight. Keep the shoulders relaxed down. Think length from the tailbone right up to the base of the neck. Rolling that block onto its edge if you can. Push through the midpoint of the heel, toes flex back. And breathe. Find as much breath as you can. Releasing, slowly coming back, sweeping arms up, twisting to your right. Come down to take that stretch. Notice if the feet have relaxed. You want to keep them actively flexed, engaging calf muscle. Opening up your left arm to the horizon while you keep that stretch in the right. Releasing back down to the leg. Let the hands travel up as they sweep out and up to twist in the other direction. So to your left. Opening the top arm up if you like. And back down. Releasing. You're going to bring the block forward again for a stretch. Soften, release, extend again through the legs. Send intention through that length. Breathe, inhale, exhale, sliding the block back. It goes to the inside of your right leg. Right hand is going to end up on the block. Sweep it up. Turn. Right hand on the block, left hand. Encircles the head as you lean to the side. So this is toward the leg as much as you can. Relax into the stretch. Turn toward the leg and then hands land on opposite side of the legs. So keeping the arms that way in a stretch, and then when you're ready to lift up, they're already crossed for eagle arms. Keep them crossed, backs of the hands come together or clasp. Arms go one direction, head looks in the other direction. Switch. Sitting tall. Calf muscles pressed against the floor. Unwrap. Let's put that block on the inside of your left leg. Sweep arms out and up. Turning to your left. Left hand to the block, right hand creates that slight halo over the head as you reach. Try not to let that right shoulder droop forward. The body is going sort of to the side. Turning toward the leg, and then hands land palms on the mat, on the floor, opposite sides. Again, remember as we come up, you're going to keep those arms folded, coming back into eagle arms. Again, arms to one side, face to the other side. Relax the entire face, your cheeks, jaw, unwrapping. We can move that block out of the way. And then coming into a side sit with both of your legs pointed to your right. Find a support with the arms, and then you're going to lift that right leg, keeping that L shape, and then just begin circles. Work to keep the shape of that leg. Don't let the calf, lower leg drop. The knee guides the circle. Let the entire thigh help hold that movement. Changing directions, lubricating from the hip, working on the glutes. Finding all the breath that you can. Hold that leg, hold, release. And then walking arms, keeping them straight, walking them back toward the back to get a spinal twist. Lots of twisting in our practice. Deep inhale, exhale. As you release, sending the legs over to the other side. Take time to make sure that you are feeling balanced here before you lift that left leg. Again, keeping it in that right angle shape. Circling. Noticing where your mind is. Bring it right back to the practice if it started to wander. Changing directions. Bringing all the intention to stay present in your practice. Hold the leg, hold, let it go. Walk back for your twist. Strong arms. Inhale fully. Exhale your way out of the twist. Working your way into table again. Get that blanket for the knees if you need to. Back into child with arms extended, and then lifting through the back into table. A little bit of back and forth. Just take your time. Stretch. Maybe one more. We're going to come into balancing table in just a bit. So pausing in table, feeling your balance, alignment. Right leg reaches back, left arm forward. Top of the head reaches forward, heel reaches back. Extend, breathe. Toes can be pointed toward the back of your mat or down to the floor, but reach, release it. A few cats and dogs as you round and then dip the back before we do the other side. Inhaling, exhaling. Push any thinking away. Moving into balancing table on the other side. It's your left leg, right arm. Hand is turned as though you're shaking hands with someone. That leg reaches back as much as possible, and find stillness in your balancing table. Releasing. Pushing back into child. So take a bit of a rest here. Always pause this practice to take water in if you need to. Reflecting on how present you feel, if you need to let anything else go that you don't need in the practice. Let's come out. We're back in table. Lifting into down dog. Walk it out and then hold for 3 breaths, lifting this tailbone up, stretching those heels gently toward the floor. So coming down, you're going to bring the right leg forward. We're coming into high lunge, eventually working our way into warrior one, but just come into a high lunge, right leg forward, hands stacked, long lines. Stretching the left sole of the foot again, so the arms sweep up as you roll forward onto the toes and back down. Sink the breath, inhale up, exhale down. Doing this with control, so it's a controlled lift and lower. Don't just let the foot land heavily. Turning to 5-point star. And then take your jackknife, hands at the waist. Hands can come to the floor. High squat. Bend the knees, look forward. Make sure the toes are pointed toward the edge of your mat, so toes and knees go in the same direction. Lifting up. Turning to your left. Make sure you feel balanced. Take time to get your alignment. Rolling the back of the foot again. Again, matching the breath. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale, exhale. No hurry. Just feel the stretch. Take it at your own pace. Letting that go, coming back to 5-point star. Take it down to the floor again. Toes forward, coming into this high squat. Hands are on the ground to support you. Bend the knees. Breathe. Lots of breath. Preparing to take that stretch side to side. So you may need to widen your feet, and this time toes are angled out. Feet are angled out a bit. You want the knee that you're going toward to bend. And you're just going side to side. Taking your time for this long inside leg stretch. If it's hard to reach the ground for this kind of a stretch, you can always use blocks, but find what works. Take your time. Walking towards your right. Down into table. Back into child. And now we're coming into a 3-part flow from child to up dog and down dog. So just keep alternating those 3 poses. There's no particular order or sequence. Down dog, up dog, child. Just breathe and move as you flow. Feel every bit of length that you're creating in the body. Remembering to breathe, relax, and feel. If you can't do all 3, go a little slower. Come into child. A full resting child. Another good time to perhaps pause the tape, take a sip of water. At the front of your mat, pausing in mountain pose, Sweep arms up with an inhale, come down to forward fold. Jackknife, breathe to forward fold. Right leg steps back, warrior one. Take your back bend if you like. Arms down, step into plank. Breathe your way to the ground, forehead touches, chaturanga. Lift into up dog. Forehead back to the ground, toes under. Find your way to down dog, maybe through child. Breathing. Stretch that dog out a bit before we move on. Walking into forward fold. Jackknife, back to forward fold. Left leg steps back, preparing to find warrior one. Reach, extend. Take your back bend if you like. Hands back down, find plank. Make your way down to the ground. Find your up dog. And then preparing to lift into down dog. However you get there. Stretch in that down dog and then walking feet forward to forward fold. Sweep arms out, coming all the way up. Finding your way to standing. Coming to the front of your mat again. Again, maybe a pause to sip or just to breathe, standing in mountain. Moving on, sweep arms up, down to forward fold. Jackknife. Forward fold. Right leg back, coming into warrior one. Take your time finding that pose. Full lines. Good balance on the front leg. Reach up, slight back bend. Coming back down, forward fold. Jackknife, plank, lifting up dog, back down, curling toes under, pushing back into child, getting a stretch, downward dog, walking into forward fold, sweeping arms up, inhale, reach for that energy, bring it right down to the heart, move to the front of your mat to continue this sequence on the other side. Reach up, dive into your forward fold. Inhale, the jackknife. Exhale, the fold. Left leg steps back, finding warrior one. Take your time getting there. Reach, breathe. Back bend is always optional. Hands to the floor, runner's lunge. Find plank. Down to the floor, forehead touches, find up dog. Forehead back down. Lifting, finding your way. Downward dog. Holding in the down dog. Maybe stretching the feet, any movement, or just still. And then find your way down, coming into dolphin pose. So this is forearms on the ground. It's essentially down dog, but with the forearms down. Then curl the toes under, lift the tailbone, maybe a tiny bend in the knees, dolphin pose. Head does not touch the ground. Spread the fingers, palms support you. Lots of deep breath. Dolphin. Expand and contract the body with your breath. Gently release the knees to the floor. Find your way into child. A long resting child. Again, pause, sip water, and just be right in your space for the next couple of breaths. Let the breath help you release from child, coming into table. Another balancing table. Right leg goes back, left hand forward. Stretch, reach. Find that balance. Arm and leg come down. Cats and dogs, just stretching out the back, rounding, and then dropping the belly as you lift the head. Balancing table on the other side. Right arm, left leg. Feel the top of the head really pull forward gently. Think long spine. Extending through the leg, extending through the fingertips, releasing. Pushing back into child, and the flow coming into up dog. Down dog. Taking it back down. So this is your flow. Child, up dog, down dog. Any order, just stretching through before we move on. Inhale. And when you exhale, make sure that it's a slow and controlled exhale, pushing all the breath out as you move through this flow. Child, up dog, down dog, taking time to feel every muscle that you're nourishing. Breathing it down. Getting ready for balancing table again with a slight variation. Left arm, right leg. Now you can hold or you can turn it into a half bow, bending that foot back and then reaching the left hand back to grab the foot. Again, you can stay in the full extended balancing table if you like. Cheeks are soft, jaws not clenched, release. Push back into child. Full extension before we move on. And actually, let's do a little stretch. Both hands walk over to your left. And then both hands walk over to your right. Full breathing. Hands come back to reach forward, getting ready to pull into table again for balancing table with half bow. Right arm reaches out, left leg. Pull it into the bow if that feels right for you. Soften. If it's a struggle, let it go. Breathe. Find that prana, the breath of yoga, releasing. Back into table. Finding child. Several breaths in child. Slow inhale, full exhale. And then finding your way to standing, coming into mountain pose. Sun breaths. So when you get there, just find your balance on your feet, breathing arms out and up. This is a circular sun breath. So palms come together at the bottom of the circle, and then come up, reverse that. Take full advantage of the stretch through the arms, working the upper body and the shoulders. Pausing to let that go, coming back into 5-point star. Hands at the waist, toes toward the edge of your mat. Take your jackknife, lifting back up. Let the core lift you up. Back down, find the jackknife, and core lifts you back up again. Strong legs, reach back out to 5-point star. And then come into warrior 2 to your right side. Long extension through the arms. We're coming through this flow in a very easy, gentle way. Reverse the warrior. And then take it through warrior 2 to land in lateral angle. Gain that stretch. Lifting back up. 5-point star. No, actually we're going to flow here. So lifting arms, straighten knee, and back down. Inhale up, exhale down. Take all the space, just feel the energy. Hold that warrior, 5-point star as we get ready to take a forward bend before we transfer to the other side. Slow and intentional movement. Back to 5-point star to take that warrior 2 to your left. Once you're there, find the lateral angle. Warrior 2. Breathe. Notice where your thoughts are as you lift back into warrior 2. 5-point star, flowing, 5-point star, back into warrior 2. So just find that flow. Holding in warrior 2, back to 5-point star. Another bend, hands at the waist, lean forward. And then take it all the way down, long stretch. So you get ready, first of all, to squat. So it's a deep, long squat stretch, toes pointed at the edge of the mat. Always adjust the feet if the legs aren't comfortable. You're bending and releasing. Now point the toes, angle them out, go to one side, and then over to the other. Bend, stretch, release as you gently walk from one side of your mat to the other. This is the best stretch for the inside of the thigh. So you're turning to the right side of your mat, coming into a high lunge. So angling that back leg however it's most comfortable. Both hands stacked on the right thigh, left leg is back. And then adjusting the back foot so that again you can roll forward on the foot. Inhale up, exhale down. With control, feel the fingertips reach, feel every muscle in the leg help you lift and take it back down. Stack the hands again in the high lunge. Taking the hands to runner's lunge, you're walking to the center of your mat, just walking your way around. Again, adjust the feet, toes pointed to the edge of the mat. And then walking to the left side of your mat in a runner's lunge. Lifting into the high lunge. So adjusting. Now that touch of the hands on the legs, it's light. Not a heavy resting the weight. It's just a light holding. Adjusting the feet, getting ready to roll forward. Stretching that back foot. Inhale it up. Slow control, exhale down. Feel the shoulders. Easy movement. Breathe. Stack hands again for the high lunge. Runner's lunge to walk you back toward the center of your mat. Bring those feet in just a bit. This is our high squat. Toes pointed to the edge of the mat. Bend the knees, look forward a foot or two. Bend and release. Supporting yourself, begin to lift your body up. Just let the arms relax as you roll yourself up. Arms sweep out together. Come right into your mountain pose. Reflecting, being present. So one more set of flowing. This time we're going to combine all those moves. So you've come from 5-point star into warrior 2 and doing the up and down flow with your breath. Feel arms moving through the air. Reverse the warrior. Warrior 2 to lateral angle. Flowing right back up to warrior 2. 5-point star. Warrior 2 to your left. Flow. Straighten the leg, lift the arms. So breathe as you lift and lower. With control, moving through the space. Reverse the warrior. Float through warrior 2 to lateral angle. Vigorous flow. Just keep the energy moving. Warrior 2. Back to your 5-point star. Take a jackknife in the wide stance. Hands come to the floor. Slowly bring yourself up. Limp arms. Interlace fingers behind. We're going to do a standing yoga mudra in the wide stance. So bringing yourself forward. Maybe you're in jackknife stance, maybe your head comes lower, but the interlaced fingers and the hands reach back and away. Slowly, torso brings you up. Release the hands. Arms out to the side. Warrior 2. Flowing again, lifting up. Taking it down. Full breath and out. Keep the energy going. We're almost at the end of the moving part of our practice. Reverse warrior. Warrior 2 to lateral angle. You're doing wonderful work, so just keep that going. Runner's lunge as you walk to the center of your mat and over to the other side. You're going to lift up through lateral angle. So one hand on the leg, the other one lifts. You're in lateral angle, lift into warrior 2. Find your balance. Extend through the hands. Flow. Straight leg, lift the arms and down. Lift and down. One more with your breath. Reverse the warrior. Warrior 2. A final lateral angle. Warrior 2, 5-point star. Step it together. Long hands, interlace fingers, lean to one side. And then over to the other. hands come down to the heart. Find your breath. Maybe pause for water as we get ready to do some balances. I like to work off my mat for balancing, just for a little bit more stability. Coming into tree, prop your left ankle, heel against your left ankle, arms at your side, foot mid-calf or mid-thigh. Fix your gaze on a non-moving point as you lift the arms. If you choose to, they can stay at your side or they can float down to your heart in Anjali Mudra. A fixed gaze helps hold the balance. Try to keep that knee open. Don't let it close. Work to keep the balance. However it's showing up, just no judgment about what's showing up today. Just accept it. Look at it. Be aware of it. Letting it go. Come into standing mountain for a few breaths before we do the other side. Tree balance. Top of the head reaches up as you keep the body long, open for the breath. Getting ready for the other side, you're propping heel of the right foot against the left ankle, deciding mid-calf or mid-thigh, again, not against the knee. Arms can stay where they are, or they can lift up to grow limbs on your tree, or you can float the hands down to the heart. Just decide where you can find the best balance. Smile, be present, let it happen. The harder we try and balance, sometimes the shakier the balance. So just try to breathe and be with it. Letting it go, coming into your mountain. So moving blocks to the front of your mat as we move toward the end of our practice. We're going to do a little bit more stretching, but one more balance. So balance on your right leg. Begin to lift the left. Arms reach up. The leg comes down and the arms come down. So we're going to move before we hold that. Lift the leg, lift the arms, and take it back down. Slow and controlled. You can keep moving, or you can hold it for a 2 or 3 breath count. Extend the leg if you like. Keep it bent, or you can extend it. Just depends again on what your body is allowing you to do at this point in time. Feel your breath. Releasing, pausing in mountain for a couple of breaths, noticing one leg versus the other before you begin to shift that weight onto your right leg. Onto your left. Arms out to the side, and then getting ready to lift the right leg into an L as the arms come up, and then take it down. Slow, very intentional, deliberate lift, controlled release. Inhale. Hold. Keep the leg bent, or you can extend it if you like. Everything in yoga is optional. Listen to the messages of your body. Releasing. Always take a breath or two, just coming out. Any stretching that you need to do. Feel the release, feel the stretch. Your body will tell you how you need to move. We don't listen to the messages of our body as often as we should. So rolling shoulders forward and back if you need to. Maybe your stretch looks different than mine. Maybe you need something a little different. Just finding that movement that works. Before we move on to our final stretches and come to the floor. Again, sip water if you need to pause this video. When you're ready, we move on. Final deep leg stretching. So you're close enough to your blocks that you can work with them when we come down. Sweeping arms up. Take it down. Coming into runner's lunge. Left leg back, right leg forward, and then just breathing lunges where you straighten the front leg and bring it back to its runner's lunge position. Straighten and bend. Inhale, exhale, making any adjustments that you need to. The blocks are on either side of the foot, generally falling right about under the shoulders. That's the most natural place. And now the left knee comes down. We're coming into a deep hamstring stretch. So using the blocks to help you walk to the back of the stretch and then forward. So you're walking back until that right leg is straight, keeping the toes flexed to activate the calf, and then coming back onto the leg as you stretch out the other one when you come forward. You may really feel that on the inside groin area. It's a great stretch for that connector place between the torso and the leg. So I'm moving continuously. If you want to hold this stretch anywhere, we are coming into a deep holding where you come to the back and the left leg is truly folded. Now if your knees, if you have a knee replacement, you don't want to do this. You want to stay in the full runner's lunge and hold that. But if you're able to sit on this leg, incredible stretch for the top of the left thigh. Breathe deeply. Feel your ribs expand and contract. Always using the blocks to come in and out of a pose. It prevents injury and it promotes ease to reach full expression of the poses. Coming back into the runner's lunge, we're going to switch feet. Left comes forward, right goes back. As soon as you're ready, move into your breathing runner's lunges. And noticing how the stretch feels on this side as you stretch and release into the runner's lunge. Stretch and release. Stretch and then soften. Coming down for the hamstring stretch. As with balancing, as you work your way back and forward in this stretch, sometimes one side is a little more flexible, a little looser. So as you move to the front and to the back, just be kind to your muscles. And notice, again, do you want to keep moving or do you want to hold the stretch in a particular place because your body is asking for that? So if you're able, again, coming back to sit on that right leg. Swallow, softening the throat. Let the tongue rest in the mouth. Jaw is unclenched. Just be in the space. Beginning to work your way out. Runner's lunge, step forward, Put the blocks aside. Forward fold, bend in the knees, lift to jackknife. And then coming to the floor. Lying down on your back. Let the knees fall together and let the feet walk to the outer edges, to the edges of your mat, so that the knees fall together and you reach the arms out, and then just give yourself a big hug across the body, stretching out the back. Holding practically nothing. Just let the legs collapse one against the other. Now, remembering which arm is on top, we're going to spread those arms open again in just one more breath. And then you're going to cross again with the other arm on top. Feel your arms move through the space. Your core body expands and contracts as you breathe. Follow the journey of that breath into your body and as you push it out. Working our way toward releasing the practice, the presence on the mat. Unwrapping the arms, extend them out, open the knees up, keeping the feet where they are, and just let both legs fall to your left. Look to your right. This is a deep pull on the hips to stretch in a very passive way, and then bringing the legs up to let them fall to the other side. Again, not pulling the feet together. It's a wide leg spinal twist. Head turns away from the direction of the legs. Arms are released, just relaxing. Maybe change sides again, so legs come to the left, head goes to the right. Staying in the space, stay with the practice. Switch one more time. Letting all the benefits of your practice just wash over the body. Take in that after wash movement. Grabbing your strap, fold the legs in towards your body, strap around the soles of the feet, reach for the sky. Gentle flex on the toes as you activate from buttock all the way up the back of the leg. Finding breath. Notice if you need to relax the face a bit more. What can you let go? Releasing the right leg out of the strap. Left hand has the strap and the left leg goes out to the side. As directly out to the side as you can get it. Try not to let it drift away from you toward the front of the mat. The strap guides. Don't let the strap hold your leg. Not going all the way to the floor because we're doing work here. Muscles do the work. Slowly bring the leg up, and you're going to cross it over mid-body and let the right hand take the strap. Maybe you just cross an inch or two. Don't force it. Opening the IT band on the outside of the left hip. Just by layers, feeling your body release the practice as you stretch. But keep the breath full. Leg comes back up. Both feet in the strap, both hands have the strap. We're going to change this up and do the other side. So just hold for a bit. Both feet are now in the mat, in the strap, getting ready to stretch the other side. So both feet stretching for a couple of breaths as you reach up, preparing to Take the left leg down and have only the right leg in the strap. Right hand has the strap, leg out to your side with control and as directly out to the side as you can get it. Keep the leg active. It's not just hanging there. You're pushing through the heel, toes flexing back. The rest of your body is relaxed, but not the abdominals. Side body on the left is helping. With the next breath, slowly begin to bring that leg up, cross it over. Left hand has the strap. Right leg is crossed over the midline of your body, just a bit. Let your mind say release, let go. Face is absent of holding any expression. Bringing that leg back up, hug the legs in, interlace fingers below the knees, maybe rock a little bit side to side. Consciously, keeping the mind clear. Legs released down. Getting ready for our final full pose, which is going to be a restorative bridge. So having that block within reach. Maybe pick it up and put it between the knees just to test the distance between the knees. Shouldn't be more than 5 inches or so. Begin to lift your body up for bridge and then placing the block wherever it's most comfortable. Maybe that's the base of the tailbone, maybe halfway on small of the back. Again, check the distance between the knees. Tuck your chin in toward the chest. Stretch out the back of the neck. Feet firmly planted, arms relaxed, toes spread and released. This should be a completely restorative pose where you can let everything go. The block is supporting you. Deep full inhale to the count of 4. Exhale, same length of time. Taking this inversion pose to help rebalance the body. Final check-in. How present have I been in my practice? Not judging, simply noticing. Now you can stay right here or pull the left knee in towards your body and extend the foot up toward the ceiling just for a stretch before we begin to release. Release the knee back down toward the face, put the foot on the floor. Right knee comes in and then extend the foot. That's the safest way to do this for the lower back. Bend the leg, then release the foot. Lifting your body up, remove the block. Keep your body up because you're going to come down to the count of 3 or 4. Slowly lowering, 1 vertebra at a time, touches. Come to the floor. Soles of the feet together, and then let both legs fall to one side. Arms are spread in T or cactus arms. Final releasing, letting go, spinal twist. Taking the legs over to the other side. Checking in, where's your mind? Keep busyness out. Whatever you have waiting will be there when you step off the mat. Legs come back up. And I invite you to find a seated position to just let your practice finally go. Coming into that space of namaste and gratitude. Thank you for being here.